Welcome you all to the 2014 CIAA Postgame Wrap-Up. Joining us, we have the Golden Bulls of Johnson C. Smith University, led by head coach Stephen Joyner Sr. Coach Joyner, if you would, start us off by introducing the three student athletes that you have on stage. Afterwards, if you could open up with a comment about tonight's game, and we will open the floor for questions or comments.
To my left, LaMarquis Letchaw, point guard, Emilio Parks, center, and Emerson Williams, small forward. First of all, congratulations to Luke Manjaba for an outstanding job. His team was well prepared, very competitive, in command of what they wanted to do, very especially for early on in the ball game. Emotionally, we were not comfortable. We dug deep on the bench. They came in and gave us some help. Our starters came back and played a little bit better, and we were able to take command of the game. Should have won it in regulation, without a doubt. We turned the ball over too many times, and so I'm just glad we won it in overtime. That's our 6th overtime game this year.
Yes, sir.
And so I think we're 4-2 in overtime.
Questions from the floor?
Yeah, Coach, having seen you play numerous times this year, you've lamented in games that you've lost that you got beat on the boards and having defensive lapses. It almost played out again tonight. Talk a little bit about those lapses.
Well, competitiveness, I think, kicked in. I think these guys are trying to write a story. I don't know what that story is going to be. But very early on, they were in command of the offensive boards. If they could just get to the rim and put it up, they didn't care whether they missed. They were going after offensive rebounds. So we positioned ourselves just a little bit better. I thought our zone helped us with that. Our man-to-man helped us later on. But we got in a little bit better position and was able to gain control of the board. So it was a 47-49 advantage to them. The biggest concern is offensive rebounds is 2013 them. So we got to do a better job.
Free throwing helped you a bunch too, especially since Union had a difficult time converting.
You know, free throw shooting is something that it bothers me when we don't make them, because I think we ought to be a good. That's my expectation. Year in, year out, we expect to shoot individually and collectively 75% or above. When we don't, I think we're out of focus and we're not concentrating, we're not working hard. So it bothers me when we don't shoot free throws well, and we did the first half. I got a little bit better the second half, but I mean, 24 out of 38, my gracious, I'm not pleased with that.
This is for the senior, Rob. He touched on this is your 6th overtime game this season. What's your mindset going into another overtime period, seeing that you've kind of been there plenty of times this year?
All it is adversity. We've been through a lot of adversity this year, and overtime is just, like Coach always said, 5-minute run. 5-minute run is what we do in practice. So all it is just keep going and playing, fight to the end.
Other questions or comments?
Yeah. For Emilio, you had a good thing going into the second half and overtime. Then you found out. What was your mind racing back to when you picked up the 5th foul and the game was still in the balance?
Honestly, I was focused on trying to stop one person in the middle of the court, and trying to do my best physically to stop him, and to help the team out from stopping him from scoring, because he was a key player tonight. And when I got my 5th foul, all I cared about was making sure the next man up was ready to compete. So and 15 does a great job, stepping in for me and doing his best just like he did tonight. He came in tonight and did a great job. So I applaud for him, and I thank him.
And Coach, you had mentioned earlier the reserves played a key role in that. When you have 3 starters foul out, you had to lean on them.
Yeah. Well, one good thing about it is they begin to communicate with each other. They supported each other. The first 5, so to speak, started asking for help, and then the subs came in and said, "Go do what you're supposed to do." So it became a team effort. As long as it's a team effort, I think they got a chance to be successful as any team in this league.
Marcus, the final play before the end of regulation, that was you on the drive, right?
Yes, sir.
You got the shot. Talk a little bit about that play and how it unfolded and what you thought once the shot was blocked.
Once I cut the ball in the backcourt,
I was just open for the spin, so I just drove down the court, and nobody converged me, so I just started taking to the rim, but I think I should have got to the backboard instead of just trying to float it inside and get my shot blocked.
Charlie, this is your first tournament game, postseason game with Golden Bulls. What do you take away from this experience?
I have to get more control of my emotions before and during the game. Make sure I lead my team in all aspects. Make sure they're in the right areas, offense and defense. Other than that, just being mentally ready and giving the right effort at all times.
You had also, Coach Joyner had talked earlier about writing your own story. And that seems to be kind of like the case with this group. Talk a bit about the inconsistency, the ups and the downs. You've been on runs where you've won 4 or 5 games in a row, lost 4 or 5 in a row, and now you're here at the tournament. And in order to go anywhere in terms of extending your postseason, you've got to keep winning. What's the mindset with this team now?
Right now, we have a saying going, well, it was 5 hot, now it's 4 hot, and that's for us to know not to celebrate for the moment. Yeah, we got to win tonight, but it's about Saturday night. We want Saturday night more than anything else. So I think our ups and downs came from not being able to take in the moment of being successful. And when we were going on those 9-2 runs and being successful, we wouldn't understand that there's a bigger picture that we can't settle for the moment.
Speaking of looking forward, Coach, matchup tomorrow night against Virginia State. How do you fare against those Trojans?
Well, again, the Trojans are well coached. They have, depending on who they start, have a size advantage sometimes in terms of what they attempt to do. But I'm rolling with the Golden Bulls. I'm really focused on my team.
Other questions or comments? If not, we will bring this session of the press conference to a close. I want to congratulate the Golden